double meaning in our house, and I thought that's how it went. So for us, 4th of July, we always celebrated my dad's birthday because it was the 3rd of July. So I thought, okay, that's how it goes. Major holiday, birthday. And then we also celebrated my mother's birthday, which happened to be Christmas Day. So it was a double whammy right there. Most people would think that's terrible. She loved it. All presents on one day. So I thought when I got to be about, 10 or 11 years old, like, there must be another holiday on my birthday. So I looked it up, August 10th. I share a birthday with Antonio Banderas, and it is the day Richard Nixon left office. That's what happened on August 10th. So, as you can see, nothing national day off for everybody worthy. So I was kind of frustrated because I was like, well, I kind of got gypped here. On August 10th, I thought all holidays had to have something else. And now, as I got older, I was planning, new things were going to be holidays, The day, you get engaged, the day you get married, all these things that are going to become holidays. And so I thought, well, clearly all of these events also need to occur on a major holiday. Yep. So when I was dating my boyfriend, we were dating for quite some time, 7 years. We were waiting, and as my family was anxiously awaiting for us to get engaged, my boyfriend said to me at the time, I can tell you this, Mary, we will never get engaged on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day. It's not going to happen. It's going to be on a random day, and you're going to have no idea that we are going to get engaged. So I was a little disappointed, outside the fact that I've been also waiting 7 years. Side note. So it was holiday time, and it was December 30th, and I had just finished a show here in New York City at the Beacon Theater, a hot holiday show, which you might have missed. It was called Santa Meets the Ice Dragon. No? Missed that one? Yeah. It was a Belgian folktale that was done one holiday season. But I was in it, and I played an elf. It's good times. So it happened to close on December 29th, and so on December 30th, I went to go join my husband with his family who were celebrating down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because that's where his brother-in-law was stationed. So I flew down, my husband was already there, and unbeknownst to me, my husband had hatched a plan. Oh. Yes. So here was his amazing plan. I was going to take off in the air. During the time that I was flying from New York to North Carolina, people from my entire life were going to call me and leave a message just saying, hey, you know that Pat? He's a good guy. I think you should marry him. And he was going to call people from childhood, college, my family, everybody was going to call and leave me messages. So then I was supposed to get off the plane, check my messages, and as I'm walking, I'm hearing all these people from my life telling me I should marry Pat. And then he was going to tell people in the airport, as they walk by me, tell him, hey, Pat's a good guy, you should marry him, and have all these things. And at the bottom of the escalator, coming down, he was going to be there with flowers on his knee, waiting to ask me to marry him. Here's what actually happened. December 30th, I got on the plane from New York to North Carolina. We land early. I don't know why. I'm on the one plane that lands early. Lands in. I get off the plane. I don't check my voicemail. I call him, saying, hey, we landed early. I'm here. And he's like, what? You are here? Did you check your messages? Now, this sends a chill up my spine. Because for the past 4 years, every time I have left the state, somebody in my family goes to the hospital. So automatically I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Was my dad okay? What's happening? He's back in the hospital. He had another heart attack. Freaking out. And he's like, no, your dad is fine. Everybody's fine. Just check your messages. I was like, well, okay, I'll check my messages. Where are you? He's like, I'm almost there. So I get off the phone with him. I start checking my messages, and I got 3 messages. From my mom, my subletter, and my high school friend. Now, mind you, he had called like 17 people who all tried to leave me a message. Pat sort of forgot I never clean out my voicemail. So all these people were trying desperately to leave me messages, but 3 was it. So those 3 people said, hey, Pat's a good guy, you should marry him. So Mom, Anthony, and Carrie told me to do that. So I'm coming down the escalator as I call him back, and I said, what's going on? And he said, hold on, I'll be right there. Okay, I get to the bottom of the escalator, I'm waiting. And waiting. After about 10 minutes, I call him back. I'm saying, what's going on? And he says, the problem is I got a little lost. I couldn't get out of my sister's neighborhood, so I'm still about 15 minutes out. So I said, oh, okay. And he's like, this is not how this was supposed to go. So I wait, and I wait. After 15 minutes, I called him again. Where are you? He's like, I'm pulling in. I'm pulling in. So I step outside the doors, and he pulls up right there and jumps out of the car. Car's still running, and runs around and kneels down right in the pickup drop-off area at the Raleigh-Durham airport and asks me to marry him. And I said yes, and he gave me the ring, and we kissed and we hugged, and I leaned back and I said, we're gonna get towed. We gotta go. I'm used to New York, man. They'll just jump on you in a hot second. And so he's like, you're right, get in the car. So we jump back into the car, and some woman who watched this leans over and goes, congratulations. And so that happened on December 30th. So there is nothing else associated with this now our holiday, which makes Raleigh-Durham have a special place in my heart. But I've realized as time has gone on, we've been married over a decade now, but don't mind you, we got married on Memorial Day weekend. So double whammy. I've realized that I can tell you when December 30th comes. Usually about halfway through the day, one of them or the other of us will look at each other and be like, oh yeah, it was today. Yeah, all right. It's true, but I realized that there doesn't have to be a double whammy to make you remember it. And those aren't the holidays you're actually going to hold so close in your heart. The holidays that wind up being important to you are your wedding day, the day your kids are born, the day that maybe you said goodbye to a loved one. Those are the holidays that matter, and they don't have to coincide with anything. But I will say, if and when you're ever going to ask somebody to marry you, put on your GPS and don't be late. Thank you.